Hi everyone, welcome back to another Do We Smart SAT prep video. My name is Chrissy, and today we're going to go over some ways that the SAT applies conciseness to its questions on the grammar section. First, let's go over some useful terms. What does redundant mean? Well, it means exceeding what's necessary, but this is a word that's better explained with some examples, so let's take a look at some phrases that can be considered redundant. The first is global pandemic. Now, why is this redundant? Well, that's because the definition of a pandemic is a disease that affects the whole world, so having the word global in front of it is redundant. Now, past history. Well, history means something is in the past, so there's no reason to include the word past before history. Now, let's take a look at this example. The increasingly global character of publishing has caused editors to be simultaneously pulled in many directions at the same time, with authors in multiple countries often making competing demands. Now, we can either choose to leave this underlined portion alone or change it. So, let's pay close attention to this underlined portion. Well, this is redundant, because what does simultaneously mean? It means at the same time. But we have at the same time right at the end of the sentence. So we shouldn't leave this alone. So let's eliminate A. Now, let's look at the shortest possible answer choice, which is D. Simultaneously pulled in many directions. Now, this would be the correct answer choice, not only because it's the shortest, but because it's the most concise. If we look at the other answer choices, simultaneously pulled in many directions at a single time, or simultaneously pulled in many directions at once, that's basically just the underlined portion, but with different vocabulary. So that leaves D as our correct answer. Let's look at another example. The increasingly global character of publishing has caused editors to be simultaneously pulled in many directions at the same time, with authors in multiple countries often making competing demands. Now, this is the same paragraph, but the question is different. So we can either leave the underlined portion alone, replace it, or delete it entirely. Now, when there's a delete option, you typically want to look at that answer choice first, because it can offer the most concise answer. So going back to the passage they gave us, we already know that saying at the same time after simultaneously is redundant. So deleting the underlined portion would be the best choice, which means D is our correct answer.